Now on WECT News at 5.
Body identified. We now know the name of the young man pulled from the Cape Fear River last night. His mother is telling WECT how she thinks her son ended up in the water. Suspicious package, a building off Military Cutoff Road, is evacuated so bomb experts can check out the contents. Their findings straight ahead.
It was intense the first time I had to do it, and it was doubly intense tonight.
Almost there. Holly Ridge's Katrina Parker is one of the 8 final singers on The Voice. Tonight is the start of the live semifinals. Coming up, find out what happens next. WECT News at 5 starts right now.
In high definition, where news comes first. This is WECT News at 5.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Frances Weller. For the second time this month, officers with the Wilmington Police Department are investigating a body that was found in the Cape Fear River. WECT's Gavin Johnson joins us now live from the downtown Riverwalk near the area where Dennis Anderson's body was spotted yesterday. Gavin?
Fran, as you mentioned, for the second time in April, a body has been here in the Cape Fear River. The first body was Lance Corporal John Pruitt. Police say he fell or jumped into the river. But today, family members of Dennis Anderson told us, unlike that situation, they believe their loved one could have been murdered. It's a normal day on the Riverwalk in downtown Wilmington. People are enjoying the weather and admiring the Cape Fear. But across town off 7th Street, family members of 29-year-old Dennis Anderson are grieving.
I'm still trying to get over. I mean, it hasn't really hit me.
No.
Because that's just not him, you know. Even to be downtown like that, you know, without him having transportation, he's never gone from his family for too long.
It was a setup.
Yesterday evening, a little before 6:30, Dennis Anderson's body was discovered floating in the river. According to police, the body was in the water for several days.
Last time I talked to him was Wednesday. That's the last I verbally heard from him, but I didn't see him. But we did talk Wednesday.
Yeah, on the phone.
Police say Anderson's body did not have any injuries, and there were no signs of drugs nor alcohol. Family members believe he was possibly murdered.
You can't make nobody do what you want him to do, and I hear it was gang-related. Gang wanting him to do what they say do, and he didn't want to do it.
Now, a spokeswoman with the Wilmington Police Department tells us they have not ruled this a homicide and it's still under investigation. She says they are waiting on an autopsy and there were no physical signs or obvious signs of foul play. Dennis Anderson leaves behind 2 children. Reporting live in downtown Wilmington, Gavin Johnson, WECT News.
All right, thanks, Gavin. New at 5, an employee at Brunswick Community College has been terminated for having a relationship with a 16-year-old student. Jose Juarez, who is 30 years old, was an IT technician. The 16-year-old is a student at Brunswick County Early College High School. School officials suspended him immediately after receiving a report about the relationship. He's charged with indecent liberties with a minor and sexual battery. A man accused of beating his landlord is wanted in Bladen County. Sheriff's deputies are looking for Sean Nathan Falk. Authorities say Falk's landlord, Robert Gooden, evicted him from his home on Hester Street in Clarkton. The two got into an argument and Falk beat Gooden in the face, according to police. Gooden, who is 71 years old, is in critical condition. Now, if you know where Falk is, you are asked to call the Bladen County Sheriff's Office right away. Police in Chadbourn are investigating a shooting that happened over the weekend. Corey Williams was shot in the arm Saturday night. Officers say Williams has not been cooperating with authorities, but they believe he went to his ex-girlfriend's house and kicked in the door. Then her son grabbed a gun, followed Williams to Chadbourn, and shot him. Williams was taken to New Hanover Regional Medical Center. A building in Wilmington was evacuated after a suspicious package showed up. Officials with the Wilmington Police Department's bomb squad searched the building on Military Cutoff Road. Now, the building houses the honorary consulate of Belize and several medical offices. Officials say the package had suspicious writing on it, but there was no device inside of it. They are investigating how the package got inside the building. Pender County leaders still say nothing is set in stone, but business development seemed to keep moving in the right direction. The Cody Incorporated building in Rocky Point has a new occupant, but there's no word on which business it is. WECT's Lindsay Curtin reports more details keep slowly leaking out.
Well, Fran, when I went to the old Cody building last week, I saw a sign of life happening there. But again, the people I saw going inside couldn't say anything. But in a recent manager's weekly report, Mickey Duvall said, quote, "Hats off to Wilmington Business Development and Rick Benton, who are on the verge of solidifying a major economic development deal to bring a large-scale green industry business to Pender County." He added that unofficial estimates are that this particular industry could employ up to 150 people at startup and expand to well over 500 within a few years. Now, of course, a key word not to forget here is unofficial. Wilmington Business Development CEO Scott Satterfield said he couldn't confirm, deny, or comment right now, but he says things are looking up. Now, County Manager Mickey Duvall, he mentioned another business venture here. He said he has meetings planned with Volkswagen and BMW. Discussions will be about bringing Tier 2 and Tier 3 plants to Pender. He says all he's doing right now is reaching out to his best contacts and knocking on their doors, hoping to create as many jobs as possible. Live in the studio, Lindsay Curtin, WECT News.
All right, thanks so much, Lindsay. Brunswick County has a handful of companies and businesses looking to set up shop in the area. The Brunswick County Economic Development Commission is working on 9 different projects at the moment. 3 companies are eyeing up the industrial park off of Highway 7476, and 6 are looking at buildings in the county. Officials say they are in the early stages of talking and negotiating. Brunswick County took a big hit when Caterpillar decided to set up shop in Georgia back in February. The area lost out on thousands of jobs with that deal. Well, there are some businesses in our area struggling tonight. Coming up on WECT News at 5:30, we'll tell you about an entire shopping center that is closing in Wilmington and what's going to happen to the businesses located there. A proposed Hotel Indigo in downtown Wilmington could be facing problems with the way it is currently designed. City Council members will discuss allowing certain parts of the hotel to encroach onto public property. The current plans call for the top of the building to extend up to 13 feet over the street. Council member Kevin O'Grady says encroachments are not uncommon, but that 13 feet is excessive.
Very interested in seeing this hotel get built. It will be an addition to the downtown, but why does it need 13 feet of public property? Apparently as a gift. A problem with that.
Wilmington City Council will vote on the issue during their meeting tomorrow. Well, this next story is something you'd probably have to witness yourself to believe. After nearly 8 hours, a local tow truck driver managed to pull a truck from nearly 80 feet underwater at Freeman Park. It happened this weekend. Tonight, we're telling you why you may want to think twice before hitting the beach in your SUV.
This is what's left of a Virginia family's first vacation to Carolina Beach.
They was hugging my neck because they couldn't believe I was risking my life to go out there to get their truck.
The family's 2005 Toyota Tacoma got sucked out to sea late last night at Freeman Park after driving too close to the shoreline. And that's when Wayne, also known as Fossil Gunner, got a call from police.
My concern is get it out of the water and recover it.
As you can see, Fossil is the go-to man for underwater recoveries on the island. But this incident was one of a kind. Fossil was forced to swim out to the truck while facing strong winds and heavy currents.
The chain kept getting knocked out of my hand, and from the north wind and the swells, that I had to dive down about 20 feet to catch it.
The truck, now waterlogged and destroyed, drifted nearly 200 feet offshore and was bobbing like an apple off the north end of the park.
As I was trying to get to it, the waves would slam me up against the side of the truck.
He was also battling jellyfish and even pressure from the Environmental Protection Agency.
Whenever a vehicle gets underwater, something like that, that becomes an environmental hazard because of a possible fuel spill or oil. But you got a certain amount of time to get them out.
After hours of work, both the truck and Fossil made it safely to shore.
To me, that's what a wrecker service is for. And I love doing water recoveries, but not there.
Fossil says people don't swim at the north end of the beach at Freeman Park for a reason. In Carolina Beach, Nadine Mazer, WECT News.
Now, the Carolina Beach Police Department says they have incidents like this one maybe once or twice a year. If you're planning on taking a ride on the beach, we've posted tips on how to not get stuck in the sand or water on WECT.com. First Alert meteorologist Rob Ellis has the truck. So have you ever been out on the beach with your vehicle?
I love doing it. Number one tip, air down, air down, air down. That's what you have to do. You have to take the air out of the tires. Gives you better.
I was going to say, what does that mean?
That means take the air out of your tires. Gives you a little bit better traction on the sand, so that you have better surface area as you go over the sand. You don't want to dig down into the sand. So.
You don't want a flat tire either.
Well, that's true, but it helps out. It actually better to have problems with the tires than the whole truck to get washed away.
You're watching WECT News at 5.
The semifinals begin tonight for The Voice. The final 8 competitors all perform tonight, including Holly Ridge native Katrina Parker. Tomorrow night, half of them will get sent home. Stephanie Staton has a preview.
For the remaining singers on The Voice,
Top 8 is no joke, man. It's a serious group of talented people.
tonight is like a roll of the dice.
It's like a total crapshoot from this point forward.
It's an unpredictability that adds to the nerves.
I'm really scared. But I'm looking forward to kind of getting back to what I do.
That's the business of trying to impress both the coaches and the viewers at home.
And you feel very vulnerable and very naked in front of the audience and the coaches. And you know, when you feel vulnerable in front of them, I think that kind of strikes a chord.
Song choice will be a big part of tonight's strategy.
I haven't sang a song yet dealing with love or loss or heartache. And I can definitely go there.
But some will stay with what's worked so far.
The consistency of delivering some really good power ballads and some good tunes.
There's also the challenge of sending a message through the music.
I'm trying to convey how emotional this whole thing is for me and how much it means to me.
It's a sentiment no doubt shared by all the semifinalists.
I've staked my claim in this competition, and the end is in sight.
Tonight's performances will decide how soon that end comes. Tonight we'll also see joint group performances, Team Adam and Team CeeLo joining forces, then it's Team Blake and Team Christina. Now when the show's over, America will cast its votes for the top 4 finalists. In Los Angeles, Stephanie Stanton, WECT News at 5. Fran, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Stephanie. Now, you can watch The Voice right here on WECT at 8 o'clock. And don't forget to vote for Katrina. Now, I just got off the phone with her father, Cecil Parker. He says they are very excited. They're actually on a van going over to the studios right now, and we hope to talk with him after the show tonight. So watch us on WECT News at 11 for more on that.
Celebrate, remember, and fight back. That's what people have done all night long at the Relay for Life in Pender County and also the one in New Hanover County.
Yeah, that's right. Thousands of people right now are at Ashley High School honoring those who have battled cancer. WECT's relay captain, Frances Weller, is there. She joins us now with the latest. Hi, Fran.
Hi, Michelle. We are having fun out here at Ashley High School. As you mentioned, hundreds of people out here, actually thousands, and they are running and walking the track. Ran into Derek Hickey, a school board member, and he has been running for the past hour. I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm here with the Wilmington Roadrunners Club, and the club has raised over $2,000 for this charity, and probably I'll run about 15-20 miles tonight.
Goodness, that is great.
Well, I think it's great. We have great participation in the school system as well. Most schools actually have a team running for this event. It's a great community event. I'm pleased to be a part of it.
All right, don't wear yourself out. Have fun, and thanks for being a part of Relay for Life. Also ran into some folks just a little while ago. My twin sister and I were out doing the 2-mile walk and saw Dr. Kenneth White. You know, your hair has changed.
Yes, I'm a scary sight tonight, but anything to support the Cancer Society.
Well, we were talking with Dr. Kays at 10 o'clock on our sister station, and you, of course, one of the leading plastic surgeons in the area, also seeing a lot of breast cancer and reconstruction.
It is amazing out here. I can't believe the support, and it warms your heart to see all these people. A lot of my patients, it's just wonderful. It's an incredible event, and can't say enough good about it. I'll go to any length to support it.
All right, is the pink hair permanent?
I'm afraid so.
All Well, have fun, and thank you for being out here supporting Relay for Life. I want to take a quick look at some video that we shot earlier this evening. It was around 9 o'clock. Very emotional video, the lighting of the luminaries, and that's something that everyone looks forward to every year here at the New Hanover County Relay for Life. And of course, those luminaries are lit in honor or in memory of someone who has battled cancer. Tonight we're going to be out here throughout the night into the early morning hours. If you'd like to come out and join us, feel free. We'd love for you to be here, but if you can't, you can make a donation to Relay for Life. All you have to do is go online, click on New Hanover County Relay for Life 2012, and you can make a donation. And as you mentioned, Michelle and John, earlier, the Pender County Relay for Life is going on this evening as well. You can make a donation to that charity too. All right, we're looking forward to those of you in the studio coming out tonight and being a part of the WECT WSFX team. We'll see you back here in a little while.
All right.
We're watching WECT News at 11.
Well, you kind of see it every day on some of the things around your house, the expiration date that you see there. But the question is, do foods really go bad on that date, or do you have a little more time before that happens?
Well, John, whether it's the milk in your refrigerator or that jar of peanut butter in the pantry, everything has a shelf life. That's the purpose behind those dates. But there are different dates, not just so-called expiration dates, and they each take on a different meaning. And I found that many consumers have different opinions on when the food is considered outdated. Decoding the food dates is tonight's special report. Randy and Chip Bulla love taking turns cooking in the kitchen. They really enjoy stirring up a new recipe. But a few weeks ago, Randy mixed in an old ingredient that spoiled dinner.
It smelled fine.
Randy's concoction was a casserole dish that included a sauce mix that expired months ago.
If not, at least a year.
Okay, so your wife tried to kill you?
No, she didn't. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just not seasoned quite right or something. And so I made him try it. And he's like, it's a little tangy. The sauce was bad.
Randy and Chip are like a lot of couples and consumers at odds over when it's best to toss the goods in the garbage can.
You know, that goes back to when I was a kid. I opened a jug of milk one time, and it was, you know, I was still so little I wasn't checking expiration date, and it was like 2 weeks past, and it was sour. So it stuck with me.
I don't want to waste food.
So why do you think they put that expiration date on there?
So that you throw it away and go buy more.
The truth is, the FDA requires that food manufacturers place a best by sell-by date on all consumable items.
A sell-by date is something that you, as of that date, you want it to be removed. You want it to be gone.
Daniel Tichy is the manager at the Piggly Wiggly store in Leland. He says the sell-by date is really for the grocery stores to keep track of what's in stock.
Doesn't mean that the product's bad. According to what it is, how it's been handled, how it's been packaged, stored, it could have extended life on it.
Now, there are 3 dates to watch out for. The sell-by date, which we just talked about, the best-by date, which is only an advisory and refers to the quality of the product, not the safety, and then there's the use-by date. That means the product is no longer safe to consume, products like milk.
The deal with milk is if you don't maintain a certain temperature on that milk up to that sell-by date, it could go bad 2 or 3 days beforehand.
Tichy says one of the biggest misconceptions on sell-by, best-by dates is on eggs.
Eggs can last 6 months after the date. That's one of God's items that eggs took care of. There was a time when eggs weren't even refrigerated.
Tichy says 2 items you can't mess around with are seafood and meat.
All our meat's fresh cut. We give it 2 to 3 days as if cut. It's not preserved. There's no preservatives in our meat. It's old-fashioned meat.
And when it comes to deciding when to go past the expiration date, there's always the old-fashioned way for that, the old smell and taste test.
And probably the smell test first, because most times when something's bad, you'll realize before it ever makes it to the lips.
As for all couple at odds over expiration dates, Randy says the casserole fiasco left such a bad taste in her mouth, she's pantry purging.
July 2010. Might want to throw those away.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 years
Yeah,
old.
really.
Well, we found out in doing this report, John, that there are only 2 places in the state that test food, one in Fayetteville and one in Wilson. Of course, by the time you get to one of those places to test the food, you've probably had a trip to the emergency room. So what we want to do tonight is test some food that has technically expired, just to see if it's still good. Now, we were told in the report that eggs, now these eggs have a Best By February 9th date. We were told by the manager at Piggly Wiggly that they can probably last for 6 months. So we're just going to crack this egg, hopefully crack it properly, and see. That egg looks normal, doesn't it?
I think that's fine.
And then, of course, you can smell it, see if it smells all right. Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, I don't smell anything bad. Rotten eggs, that's one thing you smell immediately.
Exactly.
Is get that, and I don't get that from that egg.
Yeah, that's fine. So those eggs are good. This is a cake mix that actually I got out of my mother's pantry. It expired November 11th.
So 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Roughly?
And so, roughly. So what we're going to do is the smell test there, too.
No, it actually smells like a cake mix should, almost like a cookie dough. I mean, it's still got a very good smell to it.
And I just tasted it. It's fine. That's another one of those. This is a Best By date, so that just means it doesn't have the same quality, but it's not going to hurt you. And here's the final thing. We want John to taste some milk. This is lactate milk that expired February 14th. Now, remember, this is lactate, not the regular milk, so there might be a little bit longer shelf life on it, but here.
Yeah, I've never tasted this before.
If you get sick, I'm sorry.
No, it smells fine. And it tastes like regular milk.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Sure.
All right. Actually, this milk does last a little bit longer. So here again, the bottom line is, remember, everything has a shelf life, but the ones to look out for, your meats, seafood, very important. Everything else probably has a little bit longer time.
And the nose, he says, usually tell you as well.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Yeah.